Hello, everybody.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Plot Unknown, the show.
Boo.
Thanks. The show in which we take a movie that we don't know in alphabetical order and try and guess the plot. Doesn't really work out most of the time, but we try anyways.
We try, and we make up some good. We make up some good summaries.
We do.
They might not be right, but they're fun.
They're not right, but they are fun. We make some really good summaries.
Yeah, I think some of these should be in their own movies.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm
Some
saying?
of them have been their own movies.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Cool.
They're gonna be movies.
Oh, yeah.
So before we get to today's letter, I want to go ahead and say thank you to everybody. In like 3 days of releasing our last episode, we're already almost at 50 listens, which I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but to us who just started this,
That's
it's a lot.
I don't know 50 people.
I don't know 50
Who are these
people
listens
either.
from?
Yeah, so thank you guys.
Half of them are from me.
Also me. So actually,
great.
thank you,
It's just us.
Melissa, for
Thank
being
you,
the
Luke.
other half of all of the listens.
Hey, you're welcome.
Oh, shit. My name's Luke.
I'm Melissa.
Yeah, and together we make a Plot Unknown.
Yeah, that's true. That probably should have, just in case you didn't know who we are.
Yeah, so...
I'm Melissa. My name's Melissa. I'm 22 years old. I really like cats, and I really like Halloween.
My name's Luke, and I got a basketball game tomorrow. And
you're going to be 22 in 2 days.
I'm going to be 22
Ooh,
in 2 days.
it's Luke's birthday week.
Yeah, it is my birthday week, which means I get to go now. I get to pick a letter.
Oh, is that why?
Well, I don't get to pick a letter, but I get to pick a movie.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Not because like it happened just to fall that way, but because
No, I planned it that way.
Oh,
Yeah, I planned it that way.
that's
Absolutely.
crazy.
Our letter today is F, and as I'm sure everybody guessed because my two hints were kind of obvious to if you've ever seen the movie.
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi and
What was this? hint?
was it Minnesota? Yeah.
I'm glad that you said that because I was honestly the only thing I was picturing in my mind was Alaska.
Yeah, it's easy.
So
It's easy to think of. I bleeped it out though, so if you
Minnesota?
don't know what the fuck I was talking about, like if you've never seen that movie, then you probably are lost.
I haven't seen it either, but I got it.
The movie today is Fargo.
Who else is in the movie?
Don't fucking remember. It's been a long time since I've seen that. This is one of those movies
Great.
like kind of like Eternal Sunshine for you, where like I've seen this movie once and
You
it
don't
was
remember
like
anything?
6 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember it whatsoever.
Yikes.
So
you just
we're
know it's a
gonna-
good movie, which is all that matters.
I know it's a good movie. I know Steve Buscemi's in it. I know there's snow.
Is he the main character?
I don't remember. I think so. And I know that the Cohen brothers directed it. So
I don't know who that is.
they're brothers.
What?
Well, I guess
No
I think they
fucking
directed
shit.
The Matrix.
Are you asking me?
No, I'm saying I think they directed
okay.
The
I was
Matrix.
like, you think I know?
No, I'm pretty sure they did.
I know
Yeah,
3
so-
directors, maybe 4.
Who?
Tim Burton,
That's one.
Quentin Tarantino.
That's two. That's 3.
Steven Spielberg,
Okay. George Lucas.
George Lucas. That's it.
Peter Jackson.
I don't know who that is.
Lord of the Rings. King Kong.
Have I watched Lord of the
Have you
Rings?
seen fucking King Kong?
No.
Peter
Steven
Jackson's King Kong? What about Peter Jackson's King Kong, the video game? It's a great game.
You're asking me
It's for GameCube.
stupid questions. GameCube, an underrated gaming console.
Yep. Much
Anyway.
like the game Sphere. What's that fucking thing called in Drake and Josh?
Don't. Huh?
Trying to relate to the kids.
Probably. You know when like iCarly was it iCarly? No, it was Victorious. Instead of having like Apple phones, they had pear phones.
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid. They were in shapes of pears. Our phones aren't in the shape of an apple. Could you imagine a circular
Shitty
phone?
joke. Shitty joke.
I mean, I guess you have like the iWatch, like the
Yeah, but that doesn't fucking look like an apple.
Yeah, but it's circular.
That's true.
It's a watch. That's
It's
why.
actually a square.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Okay, so
Whoa.
we got F going.
Fargo.
We're gonna set a
go.
timer for Melissa, and
Sorry, what's my name?
Melissa.
Melissa.
Melissa, and she's gonna go ahead and write a summary.
I'm
so
gonna-
we're start a timer.
Hacked.
Yep. Brrr. Hacked. All right.
I did something wrong.
3. What did you do?
Wait. Oh no.
Oh my God! Did you fucking break
No,
your computer?
I almost did. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
There's more to life than a little money, you know. Don't you know that? And here you are. And it's a beautiful day.
Okay, so I finished
Okay.
my summary. Would you like to hear it?
I would love to.
Okay. This is Fargo. Fargo, set in Minnesota in the 1980s, is about a group of people who all live in the same town. They mostly consist of families, like super classic families, like the classic dad, mom, and then maybe like one or two kids and like a couple dogs, maybe a cat or a bird. So, one man in the town sees some shit go down, like illegal shit. And in parentheses, I said, all I can think about is illegal drilling. I don't know how Minnesota works. And the town rallies around him to protect him. And this causes a huge turf war. So the turf war is between the people that were doing the illegal activities and the guy in his town that rally around him to help him.
So you're saying like a crime boss, like a fucking mafia?
No, he's just like a dude that saw some bad shit go down, and now he has to be protected.
No, I'm talking about like the people who did
legal?
the bad shit.
Yeah,
Are you
I would
saying
probably
that's
say like mob boss, probably
like a crime family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just people that do bad shit.
Yeah, I
and
gotcha.
then it's good versus evil, man. Like people that do bad shit, and then people that are like very community based and want to help one another. So, it's not a super action film. It's more of a suspenseful journey. About how this guy tries to keep himself and his family safe with help from the other people and their families in the town. And then somehow this whole movie gets turned into a TV series, right?
Yep.
Probably because they rally together and they create a super group, since they're all so good at working well with one another.
I like it.
Thank you.
That's Fargo.
That is Fargo.
That is
I
absolutely
have
Fargo.
no idea what this movie is about. Absolutely no clue. So I hope this is somewhere in the realm of possibility.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. So if you had to give yourself a preliminary rating, what would you give yourself?
Probably a 1, because I know that they live in Minnesota.
You're giving yourself a 1. Okay.
I'm gonna give myself a hesitant 2.
Hesitant 2. I
Yeah.
like it. Feeling a little bit risky.
Just feeling a little bit 1 out of 10. Feeling a 2. Listen.
Feeling a little bit confident.
I want to do as well as you did for American Beauty.
Yeah,
because that was impressive.
I think that's the best any of us are ever gonna do.
Yeah, probably. Oh, absolutely. Unless I have like a really, really good idea of what a movie's about, but I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's kind of me too.
Because there's some movies like that like I know basically what the entire movie is about, but I've just never.
You just haven't gotten around to seeing it.
Nah.
Okay, well, I like that. I think that's a good summary.
Thanks.
I can't tell if you're right or wrong.
Who knows?
But that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna watch the movie.
Yep, we're gonna go watch the movie. We'll roll a clip for you here,
and then we'll get to discuss it.
Yep, we'll do the best part. Come back, talk about it, let you know how we're feeling.
Let you know how well we did.
Yep.
Or how well I did. I guess.
I didn't do shit. You did everything.
How accurate my plot summary is.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about the movie and how we liked it. We'll rank the movie, which is always a good time too. Are you keeping tabs? Because I started to.
No, but I'm going to.
Great. I started to.
I'm going to start keeping tabs and then probably post them, honestly.
Yeah.
We promised that we weren't going to talk about social media twice.
Yeah.
So we can't talk about social media.
Before we started this, I was like, Luke, we are saving our social media spiel until the very end of this episode. For the last
3 episodes, we've done social media.
It's just like, hey, follow us on this and that. And then at the very end of the episode, it's like, also, hey, follow us on this and that.
Yeah.
Not like you just heard us say that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Also, I would like to say my cousin Mike, who has not listened to the podcast yet, but I'm hoping he does. Hello, Michael. He suggested that at the very end of like a season, we like do a separate episode basically about like our top movie and why it's our top.
That is
Isn't it
fantastic
a good idea?
Let me check the Gmail real quick, see if we have any emails. I don't think we do. but it wouldn't hurt to check.
But I say, I don't know if you've checked the email. We've said it a couple times. I doubt anybody.
I did a couple days ago. I didn't have anything.
Classic.
We promised not to give a spiel about social media, but I would love for you guys to email us.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you. We want to know what you think about our plots and your plots and all of those sorts of things. So if you ever take the time out of your day to say, hey, I like this show, I'd like to help them out, then go ahead and send us an email.
Or a DM. On various social medias that we're not going to talk about yet.
Yes, you are not going to know the fucking handle to our social medias
idea.
until the end of the show, so you have to listen till the end to get the damn social media.
Because you know what? Fuck you, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Roll the clip.
Yep, roll the clip. We
Pull
will
the
see
lever,
you guys
crunk.
on the other side. That's a good joke.
Roll
That's
the lever.
Yep. All right.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
They announced it.
They announced it.
Yeah.
So?
3-cent stamp.
You're Mallard?
Yeah.
That's terrific.
It's just a 3-cent.
We are back. You guys have not gone anywhere, but we did.
We have gone many places.
We have gone many places. You're absolutely right in that it has been, one might say, a hot second.
Yeah.
Since we recorded. Actually, that's not true because we tried to record today.
We tried to record today, and it didn't record because we're on Skype, if you can't tell.
Yeah, we've had another week of trouble trying to find some time to record together.
We've been busy. We've had a lot of stuff. It's been your birthday, you know. Yep. We've got parties to do.
That all is going to change these upcoming couple weeks. We've got some things in the works, some plans on when we're recording. Changing up our setup once again. Getting a little bit
some new
fresh.
Mics, maybe? Whoa.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit more profesh.
You said profesh. I thought you just said fresh.
Also that.
That's true. Also that.
All right, so let's jump into it. I have a summary here for Fargo. This is from Grant on IMDb. Jerry Lundegaard is in an unknown financial jam and wants his father-in-law's money to solve it. His plan to get the money involves hiring Carl Showalter, and Gare Grimson, I don't fucking know, to kidnap his wife and then splitting the ransom with the criminals. However, this quickly falls apart after 3 killings in the persistent work of chirpy but efficient police chief, the pregnant Marge Gunderson. Based on a true story, a car salesman in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Jerry Lundegaard hires 2 criminals to kidnap his wife. Her father is wealthy and Jerry needs the money. However, things don't go according to plan, and soon 3 people are dead outside of Brainerd, Minnesota. The 7-month pregnant sheriff of Brainerd, Marge Gunderson, is soon on the case, and she is very intuitive and resourceful. That person wrote 2 summaries in 2 different paragraphs and really tripped me out, so I'm sorry that I read it twice.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. It's the same post, but it's 2 things.
That was a hot mess.
It was a hot mess, you're right.
But hey, if you haven't seen this movie, go watch it.
Yes, before we spoil everything, we already played a clip of the movie. Actually, we will have played 2 clips of the movie at this point, so go watch the movie.
Yeah.
And come back and then listen to us talk about it, because it'll make a lot more sense.
Absolutely.
So I think before we get to anything, we should kind of talk about how you did with your summary.
Yeah, because in our first recording that has been lost to the world, we waited until the end because you jumped in real fast.
I did. So you gave yourself a preliminary 1 and a maybe 2. Yes.
And so basically I had the spirit of the movie, like you had said. I have the spirit of the movie. It's in Minnesota, and I got that it was in the 80s, which is nice. It's about crime, so I had the right idea. But, I wouldn't say that it's super strong, but you gave me a 2 on it, which is very
Yeah,
nice.
I think the point is that the plot itself wasn't accurate, which I guess is the entire title of the show, but I thought that you captured the spirit of the movie pretty well. Like crime in Minnesota in the 80s is snowy. There's a guy, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's people.
There's
so,
at least one
that's
man in this movie. So I'm going to give you a 2. I'm going to give you a 2.
Okay.
Not as bad as some of the ones we've done before, not as good as American Beauty.
American Beauty.
Yeah, I can't say
Nothing
anything else
will ever
specific
be
because
good.
that's it. That's the only one.
Damn, so true.
Yeah, so let's jump in.
All right.
We should go ahead and talk about try to stay in not alphabetical order, in order of the movie. The first thing that pops. Yeah, exactly. The first thing that pops to my head is that. Damn, now that I'm try to stay in chronological order, I don't have anything I want to talk about at the beginning.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, it's it builds up, the story.
Yeah, Melissa and I had talked about this in the last recording that we did that failed, but we kind of both felt that this was similar to Cruel Intentions in that we don't really have too much to say about it. Like it kind of puts, like, it's a true story, and it puts out what happened in a comedic way, and it accomplishes that. And there's not a huge twist. There's none of that stuff. It's relatively straightforward.
Yeah, not that Cruel Intentions is a true story, just by the way.
No, but it's like
it's very straightforward.
It's in a really linear fashion, like this movie is.
And they're both. I made a point to, like, this movie is pretty short. I mean, it's only like an hour and maybe like
I think it's an hour 38 minutes.
Yeah, and so Cruel Intentions was a pretty short film, and it's just a short film that gets it just gives you what you need.
Yeah. So.
But on that note, though, I will dive into the fact that I think. Do you want to talk about how a lot of the scenes are kind of unnecessary?
Yeah, so one of the things that I enjoy about this movie, Melissa doesn't particularly enjoy about it, is that there are a lot of just really ancillary scenes. So, for example, Marge, who is the pregnant police chief, goes and has a dinner with, like,
Queen,
who I assume is an old friend of hers, and he tells her this story about how his wife, who is a mutual friend of theirs, died of cancer. And then about 5 minutes later, in the next scene, you learn that A, they weren't married, and B, she never fucking died. Like, she's still alive.
Yeah, so, like, this guy, who, I guess, an old high school friend, is, like, starts crying, and is like, I'm so upset, my wife died, and, like, she had leukemia, and she died, and I've always had a crush on you. And then he starts, like, trying to get close to Marge, and Marge is like, what the fuck is happening? And she's so sweet. Marge is literally the best, and she's just kind of very, like, I don't know the word, just, she doesn't really know what's happening. She's very naive, I guess you would say, in this situation. And yeah, and then, the next scene is her talking on the phone with another old high school friend, and she's just like, yeah, can you believe that, so-and-so, his wife died of leukemia? She's like, what? No. Like,
that is exactly how she said that.
She's like, what? They never were married. He stalked her for a while, but, and that's like, what, why? And there was nothing else beyond that point. That was it. There was no, like, big reveal of, why this man did these things. That the storyline just ended. It was so pointless.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one. That's one of my problems about this movie, is that there are and Luke likes that it has, like, a lot of character development, which is, I guess, mostly what this movie is based on.
Yeah, I think that development is the wrong word, but, like, it's a similar thing that happened in fucking, I guess, Drive, in that, and also Eternal Sunshine, in that, it just dives into the characters, and it tries to give you kind of extra scenes to show you why they're acting the way they are.
Yeah. My point is that I feel as though, although the scenes are good and they're interesting, they're kind of just super unnecessary. And my main thing is that this film could have easily been like a short film. It could have just been like some nice little indie short film at a festival, because, it's short to begin with, but then they like fill it up with all these like unnecessary scenes, and it could have just been very straightforward about, what his name is Jerry, right?
Yeah, Jerry.
Yeah. So why Jerry is, paying these people to kidnap his wife, and then all the crime that happens after that. Like, it could have been just very straightforward, but
it could have been much shorter.
Yeah.
You're right.
Which is crazy because it was already so short. But I don't know. It's not that I didn't like those scenes.
They weren't necessary.
They could have easily done without them.
Yeah, they didn't provide any help to the plot at all.
Nah.
Like, it didn't move the story along, it didn't do any of that. But I do think that it's an interesting way to look at the characters and their motivations and that sort of things.
Yeah.
And also, I think that it just provides some nice, like, comedic relief. Like, when Marge is in the bar and talking to the two prostitutes, and the girl who had sex with Steve Buscemi constantly refers to him as a short, weird-looking guy. And Marge asks her to, like, expand on what she means by that, and she's just like, I don't know, he's just weird looking. Yeah, he's just a funny looking guy. I don't know how to do that accent.
I don't want to know how to do that accent.
We've also talked about this. I think that the Minnesota, northeasternish kind of accent is one of the things, Midwestern. Well, that's not like Midwestern. Like, that's not how Iowa people sound, but like North Midwestern. How about that?
Okay. What I'm saying is that, like, I understand that it brings a comedic element. Like, just with the accent alone, it's so comedic, and like all these people are so like innocent sounding, because the accent kind of makes them sound ignorant, which is, I don't mean to be offensive in that, but like it does, because it's like a mix of like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and then like Canada, just like all mixed into one. It's the strongest, most annoying accent. Oh my god.
I love it. I think it adds to the comedic value. I think, like you were saying, it kind of makes them, and this is no way to sound like really dickish to people who have that kind of accent, but it makes them all feel almost a little bit more aloof. Yeah. Like, they just all seem a little bit clumsier because of the way that they're talking, which I think adds a lot to the comedy in this movie. Yeah. And I think, speaking of the, like, kind of aloofness of characters and stuff like that, I think that Steve Buscemi's character, Carl, like, to me, really, and I know that he's a real person, and I know that all of this is based off of real events and stuff like that, but to me, he really embodies, like, the two dudes from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Like, he just gives me that fucking, nothing is going right for him in this crime. Every turn he gets, there's a damn trap or something goes wrong for him. And, I just think that it's, like, it's funny in a way how fucked up his time is going.
Yeah, like his unfortunate circumstances are comedic. And you're very right. It very much embodies almost both of the like criminals from Home Alone. It's funny. Steve Buscemi is a funny looking guy.
Yeah, right? He's just a funny looking short guy.
But also in the area of relating people to other people, Marge is Clarice Starling.
Yeah, she's absolutely Clarice. I get that vibe a lot too, because she's this, like, pretty much the only competent person in the movie.
Yes.
And she is just a general badass.
Dude, this is like, I've heard of this movie, obviously. I mean, who hasn't heard of Fargo? And it's a TV show now, and yada, yada, yada. But, like, no one, you don't hear about Marge. Oh my god, she is, like, one of the best female characters I have seen in a while. Like, just queen of the cops. She's 7 months pregnant, trying to kick some ass and fucking figure out a crime.
And she does kick some ass.
By herself. She doesn't kick ass. She shoots the man.
That's the say. I would argue that if you shoot a dude in the leg who's running
kick
from
his
you
ass?
because you're a police officer, you kicked his ass.
Okay, you
You
kicked his
basically
ass.
beat him up and took his fucking lunch money.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's Marge's. No, Marge is a fucking sweet ass lady. And
She's just a sweet woman who doesn't want to hurt anybody, but doesn't want to see anybody get hurt, and she's willing to do what she needs to get her way.
Yeah, but like, well, I love her. She was my favorite character, and she's the best. And Norm, her husband, they're both.
Norm
perfect.
is the sweetest man I've ever seen.
Oh,
He like the first time you ever see Norm, it's when she's getting up to go to investigate the dead cop and the two other killed kids.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just he hounds her, and he's just like, "Can I make you some eggs? I'm gonna make you some eggs. Have some eggs before you go to work. Well, let me make you some eggs." It's like, okay, Norm.
She's just like,
thank you.
Okay, Norm.
Yeah,
it's
I loved
so
it.
Sweet.
And then this isn't chronological, but jumping to the very end, the last scene is of them sitting in bed and like talking about how. And it's so nonchalant because, like, she just went through this whole ordeal where she saw a dude getting eaten up by a wood chipper, and then she asks him, like, what's going on? And he tells her that his drawing or his painting of a mallard got put on a 3-cent stamp, but he's kind of upset about it because his, like, rival, I guess, got put on the 29-cent stamp. And it's just, like, it's this... like they hadn't had a conversation about any of the crimes happening, but that's the biggest deal in their life outside of their kid.
Because fucking go Norm.
Yeah, go Norm.
People use the 3-cent stamp all the time. It's the cheaper stamp, Norm. Come on.
Yeah, we need more stay-at-home dads who work on paintings of mallards to get on stamps.
That is one of the things I love about, like, that couple and that, like, plot of the movie, that, like, side plot, is that, like, I was gonna say her name, Clarice. Marge is this, like, pinnacle, like, she's, like, one of the best cops in town, and she's just this high fucking standard lady, and then her husband is, like, yeah, like a stay-at-home dad kind of guy who paints. And
he's just this normal dude. There's nothing spectacular about Norm. There's nothing, like, strange about him. He's just normal. He is the most normal you could be.
And his name is Norm. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Parallels.
Look at that. Would you look at that?
Would you look at that?
One thing that I think this movie does really well is establishing shots. So, like, I think that there are a lot of wide shots of the snow, mainly because that's all that happens in Minnesota and places like that. Yeah. And I think that it's really pretty to look at all of these shots, like, even when, a cop's dead body is getting dragged off the side of the road, or a young kid is getting shot in the back, or an old guy who's a psychopath is getting shot in the leg. All of these shots are so pretty because they're so just vast. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, the thing is what I find really interesting and a very good, I guess, direction is the fact that a lot of the big wide scenes are of the snow or like of landscape of just like pure white, and it always has like one significant point of view. Like I specifically remember that one scene where I think it was Jerry, I don't remember, someone was walking to a car, and it was a car in the middle of an empty lot, like filled with snow, and he was just walking to his car.
Yeah, I think that was Jerry.
Yeah, like it was obviously, it was a big wide scene of an empty parking lot, and obviously, like, what the director wanted is for you to focus on the car. That is the point of interest, and it that scene does it really, really well. And the same with when that kid gets shot, and then the Gruyere, whatever his name is, when the criminal gets shot in the leg at the end. They're both those wide scenes of them running into, like, the fucking unknown whiteness of snow and woods. And they get shot. And, like, that is the point of the scene, is to focus on that.
Yeah, if you want to look at... So that's what stood out most to me about this movie. Like, if I were to pick out one specific thing that stood out to me in this movie. And if you want to go see what I'm saying... go back and watch when blonde-haired guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm sorry, shoots the kid in the red as he's running away from the car. Which, by the way, fucked up that he left that girl in there to die.
Yeah.
But as he's running away from the car, he gets shot in the back and falls down. And then skip until the end of the movie and watch the scene where blonde guy is running away from the wood chipper where he's putting his colleague's foot in and gets shot in the leg. Those two scenes mirror each other so well. So well. And the only difference that I can think of right now about those two scenes is that when he shoots, he hits him in the back on his first try. When she shoots, it takes her a couple shots to get his knee or his leg or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's fucking plot unknown. We got to bring up symbolism. I think that maybe not symbolizes, but that shows you how, like, Marge isn't necessarily one to jump to violence because she's not very good with a gun, whereas blonde dude doesn't miss a shot.
No. Well, I mean, that's fair. I think the first few missed shots are understandable. She might not be that good with a gun, but I think the idea of her hitting him in the leg is like obviously like a point that she doesn't like violence and she doesn't want to kill this guy. She shoots him in the leg so it like hinders him and he can't fucking walk. So
no, I agree with that, but what I'm saying is her missing her first few shots show that her character doesn't really resort to violence that often.
Yeah.
Because if she did and she used her gun pretty often, then she would have hit him on her first try.
Okay. Still, I would think she would hit him in the leg, though.
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying that, like, it's the fact that she misses her first few shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Fuck, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not too much to talk about with this movie.
Yeah, it's a very straightforward film. Like, it's just a crime. I love a good crime film.
Yeah, it's good. It's funny. It's pretty dark.
Yeah, the one of the best scenes is easily when at the very end. Also, a symbolistic, is that a word? Probably not. Symbolism point. Is when they're at the very very end and it's, you know, snowy and woods and he's putting like the body parts and the wood chipper of Carl and Jerry's wife. He's putting all the body parts in there and it's just the wood chipper's just spewing out blood all over the snow. Like it's obviously like it's such a like stark contrast and
the contrast is really pretty.
Yeah.
One thing that we have glossed over. And we kind of mentioned it by talking about how he relates to the guys from Home Alone. But I want to focus and dive a little bit into Steve Buscemi's character, Carl, for a second. Okay. Because at first glance, he is just unlucky. But at a deeper glance, he is really fucking unlucky, right?
Okay.
So he takes this, like, routine, I guess, kidnapping job. And is just like, all right, we're going to take this woman. We're just going to hang out until we get this money, like he knows that it's coming, we're going to split it and then go our separate ways. We get a new car, blah, blah, blah. And then, first off, his partner kills 3 people, unbeknownst, like, he didn't realize that was going to happen going in. So then they're kind of fucked, right? Because they have blood on their hands, there's a real criminal investigation going on, and they are fucked. Yeah. And then, everything kind of starts going sideways. The first thing in my mind that starts going sideways for him is when they meet up with the money, and it's the stepfather or the father-in-law instead of Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking Carl kills Jerry's father-in-law because he's like, bro, I'm fucking done with this shit. I just want my money and I'm trying to go. And the father-in-law is not going to give him the money without seeing the wife, who isn't even with him at that point. Mm-hmm. Which, to me, kind of says that they were probably going to double-cross him. I can't really, say that for sure. So then he gets shot in the face, right? Thankfully for him, he survives.
Before the before this father-in-law dies, he gets a good shot at Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi's face.
Steve Buscemi's face, and shoots him in the jaw, which adds for another comedic element of fucking.
Because he can't talk.
Yeah, he's trying to talk for the next 10 minutes, and
Yeah. So then he goes back to the cabin. Actually, before he goes back to the cabin, he takes the $1 million that was originally supposed to be $80,000. He takes out the $80,000 that's going to be split between him and his partner, and then he buries the rest of the $1 million. But
that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. But he buries this briefcase along a stretch of road, along a fence that looks exactly the same, especially in the snow. And then his genius idea to mark the buried briefcase of $1 million, or like 998, whatever.
Oh, wow.
992, wait. Yeah, 900, no, fuck. 920,000. $920,000. Okay.
Holy
that
fuck.
took a second. But anyway, so his brilliant idea is to bury it in the snow and then put a little red shovel next to it.
It's the little fucking red ice
like a
rink.
snowstorm.
Yeah, where it's just gonna
Minnesota,
it's just gonna snow again, and
in
it's
the
just
winter.
gonna bury the fucking thing again. Like the fuck?
Along a random stretch of road. Like, there's no landmark that he shows. And I love that scene because, like, you could see him thinking about it because it shows both sides of the fence after he's buried this thing. And he looks back to his car. And he's just kind of like, yeah, fuck it, that's going to do. Puts his snow scraper down and goes and leaves to the fucking cabin. And then he gets there, gives the guy his money, finds out that the wife is dead, doesn't really give a shit. Takes his money and is like, hey, I did all this work. I'm going to fucking take the car. And the other guy...
You can take my truck.
Yeah, he says, you can have my truck. I'm going to take this car. The other guy is like, no, we just, like, whoever takes it can buy it from the other person.
Yeah,
and
he says, he wanted, like, more money just for him taking the car. And Steve Buscemi's like, fuck you. Like, fuck that. Fuck you. I got shot in the fucking face. I did everything in this thing.
Like, he has a point. Like, he did all the work.
I mean,
the other guy just sat around in his underwear watching TV.
And it's not like he doesn't get a car. He still gets the car. It's
truck.
not the nice car.
Yeah, so Steve Buscemi walks out presumably to leave and just wash his hands of the whole thing. And then gets murdered by an axe.
Yeah.
How fucked up is that?
Right behind him and just chop. Well, no. Steve Buscemi turns around. He gets just fucking axed in the neck.
He does get axed. Right in the neck. Right in the neck.
Right in the neck.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the main thing I wanted to talk about in this episode is just Steve Buscemi's bad luck.
Yeah.
It's like a series of unfortunate events, but Steve Buscemi is every character in those books.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's the mom and dad who get killed in the fire. He's the crazy grandfather. He's all of the kids. He's all of the crazy people.
Yeah. There's only two people that matter in this movie, and it's Steve Buscemi and Marge.
And Norm.
Yeah, and Norm.
Norm
also.
matters.
Norm matters.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to do it for us. Unless you have anything else to say.
No, I don't have much to say except I give that movie a whopping 6.5. I said that I wouldn't do halves, but I'm giving it a 6.5 because
going against her word.
I think a lot of the scenes are unnecessary, and that fucking accent pisses me off, and that's my final answer.
That's the final truth.
That's the final truth.
I am giving Fargo a 7.5. I think it's better than what's that movie? Cruel Intentions. I don't think it's as good as American Beauty or Drive, but I think it's better than everything else we've seen.
Okay, I guess. That's why I originally gave it a 6, but I felt like that was too close to Black Christmas, and Fargo is way better than Black Christmas. So
that it was.
6.5.
That it was.
I just don't feel right because I love Cruel Intentions so fucking much, and I don't feel right putting it next to Cruel Intentions.
I gotcha.
That's just my opinion.
So, what hints do you have for us for G? What you got?
Okay. So I'm going on the same path that I've been going down. And it's a 90s film. It's kind of a cult classic. Not really. I guess it depends on who you talk to. And it's dark. And it has my queen, Winona Ryder. Fucking mwah. Beautiful woman. Amazing. And Angelina Jolie. And that's my hints.
Love some Angelina Jolie.
Good old dark 90s film that has two amazing women.
I have absolutely no idea what it could be.
Can't wait.
So, now that we're finally at the end, we can talk about our social media.
Woo!
We've been waiting all episode to fucking do it.
Because that's all we do is talk about our social media.
Oh my god, for real. So that really is all we do.
That was so fucking annoying.
So fucking annoying.
Okay.
So, let's start with where can you listen to this podcast, Melissa?
You can listen to it on iTunes. You can subscribe to us on iTunes and on Spotify, as well as SoundCloud at some point. Because it'll take us a little bit to upload because we are not paying for that because it's expensive. So,
No, we are not.
Yeah. So
You also
places that matter, really.
Yeah, there are also a ton of other places that you can listen to it. Like, you know, a lot of podcast apps automatically add stuff that's on iTunes. So if you're listening on a different podcast app than Spotify or iTunes, go ahead and check and see if we are on there. If not, then go listen somewhere else.
Yeah, we got, it's just, fucking Google it, I guess.
Yeah, fucking Google it. God.
If you don't like Spotify, if you don't like iTunes, if you have like a fucking Android and you got some janky ass fucking podcast app, try and find us. Who knows?
Yeah, we are going to be on Google Play soon. We just aren't yet.
Yeah.
So,
and Luke, tell him the big news that I had no idea until you told me.
Big news. Our podcast host gives us a free website domain, so we are working on getting a website up.
Woo-hoo!
So that is, I believe, and I could be wrong here. It should be plotunknown.pinecast.com. That should be the website.
Yeah. But, woo!
Now, I'm not sure if it's up yet, but it will be eventually.
Yeah, Luke is still working on it, working on setting it up, and
It's okay, I got it. It's plot-unknown.pinecast.co. Plot-unknown.pinecast.co.
Okay.
It's really barren right now, but come back later, we'll kind of get some stuff set up.
Hell yeah.
And then, you are also working on something.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know when I'm gonna work on it because it's not my priority, but we're on fucking Instagram at Plot Unknown.
That's not what you've been working on, though.
I know, but I'm getting to it. Are you done?
Yeah.
Great. We're on Instagram at Plot Unknown. We're on Twitter at Plot Unknown Pod. And then, are you talking about the Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then, at some point in the near future, because I know it's not a priority because most people don't fucking care about Facebook anymore, but I will be making us a Facebook page. You can you can follow us along. It's going to be basically the same content as of right now, from Instagram and Twitter. Instagram is our main hub, but, whatever. And where can they contact us, Luke?
You can contact us at plotunknown@gmail.com. Plotunknown@gmail.com. Send us your plots, your reactions, literally whatever you want. We want to hear from you. The only thing you cannot send are pictures or videos because we can't. Well, I mean, you can send that to us, but they just won't get showing on the podcast because
I mean, hey, if you want to
It's
send us
fucking
some cool
podcast.
pictures, I will post them on Instagram on a fun little slide.
yeah,
And
yeah, we'll do that. And if we can get enough, then we would love to start reading them over the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, just go ahead and email us. We'd love to hear from you guys. It doesn't matter what it is. And if you don't want to email us, or if you don't have an email because you're a third grader, log on to Instagram or Twitter or Facebook and
Because we know
and
third graders
DM
have
us.
those.
Yeah. So you can just get in contact with us. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'd love feedback. We love whatever you got for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, sorry that this is going up so late on Thursday.
It's been a mess.
It's technically still Thursday, and we put out a warning that this was happening, but this should theoretically be the last time this is going to happen in the foreseeable future.
Don't hold us to that, but hopefully.
Yes. Yeah. So do you have anything else?
No, that's
All right,
that's
then
about
I think
it.
we're done.
Okay, I'm
All right,
gonna
thank
go
you
get
guys.
some ice cream.
That sounds great. Thank you guys for listening to Plot Unknown. I'm Luke. She's Melissa.
What the fuck?
And we are going to be back next week with
I
G.
hate you. C for G. Goodbye.
I hate you.